Hello, my most amazing friends in the entire world. If you guys cannot tell by today's title and thumbnail, we're doing 3 looks, 3 palettes. I have the brand new Adept palette, the brand new Fantasy Cosmetica palette, and I also have the brand new BellaBeauteBar palette. So you guys want to see the type of looks I create, talk all about the palettes, well then definitely keep on watching. Alrighty, beautiful. So before we get into today's video, I just want to take a moment to thank every single person who has voted for Corey. He currently is in the semifinals, and unfortunately, he is now in second place. And if he doesn't get first place, then he will be booted out, and he's so close to making it to the finals. But either way, if he doesn't make it, honestly, I just wanted to take a moment to thank every single one of you because you guys are the reason why he is where he is. Granted, he has done so much hard work at his bar, promoting like crazy, talking to all his guests, and they have been absolutely phenomenal. But knowing that you guys played a part in his success and where he's gotten just seriously means the world to me and Corey, and I just want to take a moment to thank each and every single one of you. So with that said, let's dive into today's 3 looks, 3 palettes. I'm not sitting topless. Okay, so starting off with our first palette, we're actually going to go into the BellaBeauteBar. This is the Morally Gray palette. Now, if you guys don't know what this term is, it is mostly defined in book talk as a MMC and even an FMC, depending, that has really questionable qualities. They could be pretty much the bad guy, but you turn out to love them regardless because they have some really deep, dark desires. It can get a little violent, but at the end of the day, they turn out to be your soulmate, your heart, your soul. They'll protect you at all costs. They'll lay their life down for you, but they'll kill like anyone that gets in the way. They just have some really morally gray parts. So that is where this palette comes in. It's kind of an introduction to their world. It's kind of like BellaBeauteBar's introduction to the book talk world. So meet the Morally Gray palette. This is going to be a 9-pan magnetic palette that's going to be like a Valentine's Day inspired palette. Now this actually does retail for $42, but of course you guys can use code Allie to save you guys 10% off. And it's going to feature 5 mattes, 2 multi-chromes, 1 shimmering metallic, and 1 holochrome. Not only are they launching the palette, but they also have 2 highlighters to go with it. They have Skin of a Killer highlighter, followed by the Morally Gray highlighter. Not only are these absolutely beautiful colors, they can definitely use as highlighters, but you guys can absolutely use them as eyeshadows as well. So I'm going to tend to use that today. So we're going to start off. I have to say, when I saw this palette, I genuinely was like, oh my God, I loved the color scheme. Now this shade right here, this is called Complex Motivations. Now I have to say, this particular shade right here, this feels more like a pressed foil, but this is going to be the pressed metallic shade. And when I swatched this on my hand, this left such a beautiful shimmer in its wake, right? But when I let it sit there for a minute so I could do my swatches, and then I went to go like wipe it away, let me show you. It stains. Like I think I could take my watch off. Do you guys see that mark right there? That's where that pink shimmer was at. It stains. Do you see that? It stains. That I don't know why it's doing that, why it's staining. I scrubbed it like crazy, but yet somehow it's still staining. So I am going to play with that shade, but just be very cautious when you go to play with it. That beautiful shimmer, it's so pretty. It's so vibrant. Like it's such a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. I love the way that it looks. So beautiful. But when you wipe it away and maybe try to take off your lid, it may leave a staining component. It may leave a stain behind, which I just don't really get because it is like a shimmer. But like, look, like it leaves it behind. And I don't know why it does that. I'm not the biggest fan of shadows that leave huge stains like that just because it gets to be a lot to work with. So anywho, we're going to go into this right here. I am so excited. I love seeing the makeup world slowly mix and mingle with the book world because I have been very, very adamant that I have been a big book lover on my channel for a long time. I've talked about books for quite some time, and I've been slowly introducing more book content to you guys. Some like it, some don't, and you know, that's completely okay. It's just another side of me that I love to share with you guys. I just want to keep like sharing that part of my life with you. I'm going to go into the shade right here called not a hero. And yeah, I love reading all the time. It's my big passion. I think it's so much fun. I actually got my degree in creative writing. So I really do love it. So the fact that like, you know, the makeup, which I love makeup more than anything, and books are slowly starting to collide. Oh my God, guys, it gets me so So excited. So we're just going to lay this shade right here. I'm just going to go into my crease. We're going to lay this down. I am going to play with that one shade. I know it's going to stain, but it's going to be absolutely beautiful on the lid as well. I might use a little bit of glitter glue just because it looks like it's going to flake just a tiny bit. When I swatched it was flaking. So I might use a little bit of glitter glue to hold it down, but I definitely don't think it might hold it down, but we shall see. I will say I love BellaBeauteBar's formula. I literally ranked BellaBeauteBar the #1 brand of 2024 for me. I was so mad at myself that I sat on this brand for so long. I really don't know why I did. I think maybe the reason why is because I know they're pretty expensive for what they are, but at the end of the day, their formula truly does speak for themselves. I'm like, damn, I've been wasting my time. I could have been playing this brand a lot longer, but because I was just being kind of frugal, like, I've been missing out on some amazing palette. All right, then I'm gonna take this shade right here called Shades of Grey, right here. I am actually not a big fan of the 50 Shades of Grey movie franchise. I didn't really think they were that good. I thought the acting was kind of horrible. I read the books, and even in the books were kind of cringy to an extent, especially now that I've read so much better smutty books. I'm just kind of like, that it just I'd never reread those books. I'll tell you that. I'll never reread them. They came out years ago, probably when I was like 20, 21. They came out so long ago. And fun fact, it was originally a fanfic from Twilight. This girl, the author, was obsessed with Twilight, and she tried to write a fanfic from like Bella and Edward's perspective, and it did so well on like Wattpad that they made it into an actual book, and she had to change a lot of things, but still the premise of it was inspired by Twilight. I'm going to take the shade right here called Ambulance right here. And we're going to start to continue to blend that out. All right, then I'm going to go back into Not a Hero. And we're going to put that on the outer V, because I really want to play with some of these shimmers that are in here. There's a little bit of fallout in the face. It's not too bad. I will say I love the fact that this is a magnetic pan, but I'm not entirely a big fan of the pan sizes. They're not really the easiest to stick a brush in, let alone your finger. So I kind of wish the pan sizes were just a little bit bigger. I get why they are the way they are, but I just wish it was just a little bit bigger to work with, but we are going to make do. I go into that shade called Complex Motivations, because it is such a gorgeous shade. I mean, like, it's so stunning. It is so stunning. We're going to take this, we're going to place this right here. Like, look at that beautiful shade. It is just so gorgeous. The way, like, oh my God, look at how that light just hits it. Like, it's so beautiful. And to blend them just a little bit together, I'm going to take a little bit of He's Not a Villain, very, very lightly, like very lightly on the edge. I'm just going to tap this just right here. Add a little bit of that silver right next to that black. So you see that shift? Oh my God, that is beautiful. And I'm going to take the shade right here called Bittersweet. This is going to be a really beautiful really beautiful like multi-chrome. It goes between a green to a white to a pink. It's so pretty. That's my dog. That's my dog. She's obviously frustrated that I'm talking because she wants to sleep. All right, we're going to put this like literally right there. Funny because in person, all I'm seeing is like a deep pink, but I know it has like a little bit of green shift. It's very unique. It's very pinky with like a green, with like a gold green shift. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up because it's so beautiful. I don't want to do another look. I really just kind of want to leave it as it is. We're going to come back to do the under eye together. I'm probably not going to do too much intensity in the under eye because the rest of the like matte shades are pretty much going to be used for transition shades. I feel like they're not going to be as wearable as like a full on like matte shade. They're mostly being used for like transition and blending. You kind of want to look more towards the black and the gray black to get that like beautiful matte color, like kind of like what I have right here. The rest would be great little light pastels that you just use to help to blend out that shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. I am going to take that first shade, Not a Hero, to line my upper waterline so I can mix it with my false lashes, because I don't do liquid liner because, well, I suck at it. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. We're going to come back to do the under eye together, followed by the highlighters. Okay, so now the eyes are pretty much done. We're going to go back into the palette one more time, and I'm going to take the shade right here called Shades of Gray. And we're going to quickly line that underneath our waterline very lightly. Because I'm just going to do kind of like a smoked out version of what I did up here. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to go right over here. Really pretty, soft, cool tone gray. We're just going to line this right underneath our waterline. All right, and then I'm going to take this shade right here called Mixed Feelings. And we're going to line that. We're going to go ahead and buff that right underneath to have to blend that out very, very lightly right here. See how it has such a light pigment? This is why I say that these shades are great for like transition shades, and that's pretty much what they're going to be mostly used for because they have such light pigmentation to them. I feel like you really kind of have to pack it in, but mostly they're great for like blending and using as transition shades, in my opinion. I'm going to take the Morally Gray shade right here. We're going to use this as an inner corner moment today. So I'm going to go and take my brush. I'm going to go use this as an inner corner because I feel like this would be a little bit too deep for me to use as a highlight, but it'd be great for like an inner corner. Just popping this in right there. Oh my God, yes, that is beautiful. And to finish this off, we're going to go into the highlighter called Skin of a Killer, and we're going to take this and we're going to go ahead and use this as our highlighter today. It's very glittery highlighter, just so you guys know. But it is really pretty as well. So this is how the final look looks. You can see that the highlighter is very beautiful. It's very high shine. And look at that eyeshadow. Like, it is stunning. Let me show you, see what happens if I do like a little light on it. So you guys can see, like, oh my God, just look at that glitter. It is stunning. It is so beautiful. You guys can definitely see where there's a little bit of a shift between these two shades right here. It is so beautiful. Let me see if I can get my mirror. Glitter is just so beautiful. It is so stunning. Okay, so let me go ahead and zoom you guys out and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on the Morally Gray collection. This is the final look right here. I'm not gonna lie, I think this is beautiful. This is such a beautiful look. It's very sparkly. It's very sparkly, but it's very beautiful as well. Like, I feel very like sexy. I love the way that I look in this. It's very pretty. And I try to play with, like, I don't know, shades I don't necessarily always play with, I feel like, and I feel like it came out really nicely. So here we have the Morally Gray palette right here. This does retail for $42 for 9 shades. Mind you, these shades are magnetic, so you can pull them out or you rearrange them however you guys want to, put them on the palettes. It's completely up to you. You are going to get 5 mattes in here. You're going to get like 2 shimmers, 1 hollow chrome, 1 pressed metallic, and I will say it's beautiful. The only gripe that I have is that I feel like the pan sizes are a little bit too small. So if I stick my finger in here, especially when it comes to shimmers, I kind of have to like go at an angle and kind of like do this to get the shimmer or to get the shimmer to appear on my finger. It's a little bit of an annoying, it's a little annoying to deal with. And I feel like when it comes to putting my brush in here, my brush is okay. Like, I'm not noticing like any issues with putting a brush in here at all. It's just more of the shimmers because I like to use my finger instead of a brush. That's my only gripe. And then there is just a little bit of fallout, and this stain right, this shade right here does have the capacity to change, to stain. But other than that, I think it's a fantastic palette. I think it's really beautiful. If you love a good cool tone, smoky, pink, a good cool tone smoky gray eyeshadow palette with a little pops of colors, this is going to be for you. This is going to be for you. If you guys have never tried BellaBeauteBar, this would be a perfect palette to try out because you can do so much with this palette. Like, you could even do a little bit more on the lighter side to do more of an everyday, or you could do like really smoky, cool tone-esque the way that I did it. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's a great palette for coming. I think it's a great palette coming up to Valentine's Day. Even though I'm not a big Valentine's Day fan, I still think it's really beautiful for what it is. And for me, being such a big book lover, the idea that this is a Morally Gray palette is just, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. So this will be launching on January 29th. You guys can use code Allie, save you guys 10% off. I'll have a link down below. I also really do enjoy both highlighters. Now, they're going to be very, very glittery. Just a heads up, they are very glittery. So if you don't like a glittery highlighter, you might not like this. I don't know the price point, but I'm sure I'll have it listed down in the description if you guys want to check that out. You have Skin of a Killer, and then you also have Morally Gray. I think Morally Gray is really beautiful. This is going to be more of a pink purple highlighter. While this is absolutely beautiful, I don't necessarily know it'll be really pretty on me. It might be a little bit too deep whenever I turn straight on. That's why I did kind of go for the lighter, but this is a great eyeshadow topper as well. I use it as an inner corner and brow bone moment, and I think it's really beautiful. So overall, I think BellaBeauteBar did a fantastic job dipping their toes into the book talk world, but then also providing a collection for those who love Valentine's Day. I think she did fantastic, and I'm just so excited for it. So like I said, I'll leave all the details listed down below, but now we're gonna move on to look, number 2. Okay guys, so starting off with look number 2, we have the brand new Fantasy Cosmetica. This is the Monk palette. In silent, fist like lightning strike, in stillness, the keen mind takes flight. A warrior's glory, a scholar's story. The body bends, the mind it sends. Count the monk among your friends. A monk has joined your party. This is the Monk palette. It's going to be launching on Wednesday, January 29th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which will be 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys can use code Allie, which will save you guys 10% off this collection. Not only is it launching with a palette, but we're also going to be launching it with a little perfume as well. So the palette does retail for $38.99. You are going to get 9 shades in here. You're going to get a mix between 4 mattes, 3 shimmers, and 1 holochrome and 1 multi-chrome right here. This particular shade is just absolutely beautiful. This color story is one that I am gravitated to so much because you guys know I love a good fall palette, and this literally is like the perfect fall palette. It is so gorgeous. It's not meant to be fall, but it's fall. And so you guys can actually buy, like I said, the palette for $38.99, and also going to be launching with some perfume as well. So I have, I think, the 10mm perfume bottle, which retails for $16.99. And the top notes are going to be cherry blossom, crisp greens, lemon peel, and aloe. The middle is matcha teas, rose, marine accord, and mugoot. And the base is going to be driftwood, sandalwood, and musk. Let me tell you guys, this perfume is probably one of my favorite scents that Fantasy Cosmetica has ever come out with. It smells almost like you're stepping into a spring garden with freshly peeled oranges surrounding you. Like, it feels very citrusy, very lemony, very orangey, just very fresh, very spring-like. I think this smells absolutely incredible. And I literally sprayed this around my room just to kind of get a feel of it. And the smell has been lingering. And every time I smell it, it's super sweet, super lemony, super orangey. And I think it smells fantastic. Now, if you guys wanted to, you guys could actually get the palette and the 30mm perfume for $67.99. But if you don't want to do that, you guys can get the palette and this little 10mm perfume for $52.99. Plus, you guys can use code Allie, save you guys 10% off. So let's go ahead and dive into this because I have been dying to get my hands on this because this is like, beautiful. Like this shade called How. Let me tell you guys, this is like one of my favorite colors because it's going to be mixed between like blue, white, green, orange. It has such multi-dimensional shifts to it. It is absolutely stunning. I always gravitate to these type of shades right here. I think they're so beautiful. And they kind of take on the shadow that's next to it. So I'm going to take my Sigma Eye Base in the shade Ignite. I'm kind of upset because apparently this might be discontinued. No one can find it right now. It's not on Sigma's website. You can find it on QVC, but it's bundled with other shades. And it's kind of upsetting because it's one of my favorite eye bases, and I don't know what I'm going to do if they decide to truly discontinue it. They have not said anything, but the fact that no one can find it on Sigma's website and there's no announcement, it kind of makes me wonder that they're like slowly getting rid of it. And I'm just like, please, please don't, because it is just, it is such a gorgeous shade. I would hate for them to get rid of it. So we're going to start off with, I think the shade right here called Stillness. I think I'm going to go in with this shade right here. I'm trying to not go into my first initial like shade that I want to, which would be orange. I want to branch out to an extent because there's only so many shades I can use in this palette. So we're just going to lay this down right here. And we're going to push this right into my crease. I'll take a little bit of the shade right here called Energy. And we're going to try to blend that right on top. It's a little messy. We're going to trust the process. And I'm mostly saying that for myself because there's so many times I do these style looks and then I end up looking at it from afar going, this is just so freaking ugly. Like, what was I thinking? And then by the end of it, I'm like, okay, now it's turned out nice. But it's taken me a minute to like allow myself to get there because I'm just like questioning every single step of the way. And I think it's just because at the end of the day, I'm not a makeup enthusiast. I'm not a makeup artist at all. I'm just a makeup enthusiast. And I have gotten, over the last 5 years of doing YouTube, I have definitely gotten hate over the way that I do my eyeshadow, the way I blend, the way I do just anything. And I know that you're not supposed to listen to it, but sometimes it does just kind of sit with you and you can't help it to like does kind of sit with you and you can't help it to like be somewhat affected because at the end of the day, I'm just a human. I'm going to be affected by words. I can't help it. I'm going to take the shade right here called Sun to mix with that. And it's kind of like hard. Like, it's kind of hard because like I'm trying to do the best that I can. But like I said, I'm just a makeup enthusiast. I have like no talent in my opinion. I'm just playing around with makeup because I love it. And sometimes people can take away the joy because I think they expect because I do YouTube, I'm supposed to be some professional. I'm like, I am far from professional, let me tell you. Never had a class a day in my life, nor do I really intend to because I don't want to be like a makeup artist. That's not my dream. I feel like that looks so muddy and just not what I want. I don't like that. I don't like that. So we're going to take it off because I don't like that. We're going to start over. Okay, we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to go into the shade right here called Timeless. We're going to try something a little different because I did not like how that looked. It wasn't its fault. It's my fault because it's just my fault. It's my fault. So we're going to do the same exact steps. We're going to just tap this orange in very lightly. We're just going to tap this in. And then we're going to take the shade right here called Energy one more time. And we're going to blend that right on top of that. See if this could somehow work. Lightly go in with this. It's a very, very light orange. It almost looks like a tangerine orange. It's really pretty. We're just going to buff that so lightly around the edge of that. I feel like it's looking a lot better than it was before. We'll go in with that shade, Stillness, but we'll probably just use it for our under eye today. It's going to try something different, but you know what? It's not wanting to work with me. I'm not going to push it. So we're just going to go in with this. I'm going to go into the shade right here called Stun again. That's going to be one of those brands that people are going... I definitely feel like Fantasy Cosmetica is just going to be one of those brands that really just blows up out of nowhere. Because I truly think they have what it takes. They make some phenomenal products. And I feel like they're so underrated. I feel like not a lot of people talk about them the way that they should. Because the products truly do speak for themselves. Like, I would love to see... Fantasy Cosmetica, BellaBeauteBar become like the next like viral like brands because they're literally their products speak for themselves. They are so good. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that same shade, that orange shade we started off with, and I am going to, if I find my brush, I'm gonna tap it along the outer V. But I also kind of know the way that this shade is looking, like it's not going to want to have such longevity to it because it does seem like a light orange pastel. But we're going to still use it as a base because I'm going to kind of go over it with a little bit of shimmer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shade right here called Deflect. And we're actually going to put that right on top of it. I feel like this would be kind of like a nice little tacky base. We're going to take this. We're going to put this right here. Oh, that's a beautiful like burnt orange right on top of that. Oh my God. That is so pretty, right? Oh, look at that. Then I am going to take the shade right here called Strike, and we're going to put that right next to that. It's a beautiful golden shade. Oh, it's so beautiful. We're going to put this right here. And then I'm going to take the shade right here called How, because I feel like that's just going to be the prettiest like inner corner shade. It's going to be so gorgeous just to go right there. Yes. Okay, then I'm going to take that shade one more time, Stillness, that brown shade. And we're going to go and line our upper waterline with that so that we can blend it with our false lashes. So this will be so pretty. And I think for a liner today, I think I might end up going in with like a yellow liner. I feel like that'd be so pretty with this. That's what we have so far. So I'm going to go do the other eye off camera, guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just threw on the rest of my makeup. I'll have everything I'm wearing linked down below. It's pretty much going to be the same thing in every single look because I'm going to try to keep it consistent for the description box. But this is how it's looking right now. It's super pretty. So we're going to finish off the under eyes together. I'm going to go into the shade Stillness. We're going to put this right underneath our waterline. I feel like it'd be super pretty just to lightly buff it underneath there. This is such a gorgeous palette. Like, oh, this is perfect for the fall season, y'all. Like, the way that I'm so obsessed with the color story, it's like not even funny. We're just going to lightly buff this right under here. I'm going to take the shade right here called Channel because we have not used this one yet. And we're going to buff that right underneath that because I feel like that would be super pretty just to kind of mix the two together very lightly like that, yeah. For the inner corner, I know I've not done this eye yet, but I'll get to in just a minute. I kind of want to take this shade. It's not going to really kind of match it, but we're going to make it work. I'm going to take the shade right here called Hurry, and that pretty much will have used every single shade in this palette. It's just really pretty, multi-chrome again. It's more like a pinky shade. But we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. I feel like it'd be really pretty with it. Right. Oh, yeah. That's perfect in our corner. Because it has a little bit of pink, blue, orange reflex. We're going to put this right here in the inner corner. And then we're going to also do it right here on the brow bone. Just to give it a little extra pop. Okay guys, so here is the final look right here. I have to say, this is so beautiful. I love like the golden orange sunset. Like it is absolutely beautiful. I know this is supposed to be like a monk inspired palette. So it kind of reminds me of like ancient Egyptian. I feel like I get that vibe probably because I've been playing this horror game called Amida. I don't know. It's a fantastic scary horror game and it's all about ancient Egyptian and pharaohs and whatnot and being inside the pyramids and getting chased by cursed mummies. It's a fun horror game, but that's the kind of vibe I'm getting with this. Like that's the kind of vibe I'm getting with this. It is such a beautiful palette. Like I absolutely love Fantasy Cosmetica formula. It's incredible. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys out before we move on to look number 3. Okay, so here is the final look, and I have to say this is probably one of my favorite 9-pan palettes from Fantasy Cosmetica. This is probably the prettiest color story they have launched to date, and I literally am obsessed with this. This is so beautiful. I love the monochromatic feel of it. I love the mattes that perform very beautifully. There's barely any fallout, and it blends so effortlessly, but it's the shimmers in here that just, oh my God, our chef's kiss. They are so blendable. They're so smooth. They feel like butter. I think it's incredible. And this is probably one of the prettiest color stories they have launched to date. So like I said, this will be launching on January 29th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys can use code Allie, save you guys 10% off. It does retail for $38.99. Don't forget they are launching their awesome perfume as well. This is probably one of my favorite perfumes they've launched. This smells so good. Oh my God, it smells like fresh oranges, fresh lemons. You walk into a garden and you just hear the birds chirping, the sun is coming down on your face, and you can just go grab and pluck a fresh orange from the tree or a lemon or a lime. It's very citrusy, but has a little bit of floral note to it as well. It smells so fresh, so clean, and it just has a really sweet citrus flavor to it. A really sweet citrus scent. This is my absolute favorite. I'm probably going to buy the 30 milliliter because I love this scent so much. Like, it smells so good. So Fantasy Cosmetica, thank you guys so much for sending this my way. I'll have all the details about this listed down below. But with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the third and final palette. Okay, so for our last and final palette, I legit am so shocked that I'm saying this because I did not expect to get this. I fully intended buying it, but it just showed up at my door, and it's the brand new Adept Cosmetics Remastered Minka palette. I recently talked to you guys about this in a new makeup release, said that they were remastering and expanding the palette and making it so they had more mattes in here, and I thought that was incredible. I told you guys I wanted to buy it. This palette is officially available right now if you guys do want to get your hands on it, and I want to tell you guys a little bit about this. So meet the brand new Remastered Minka palette. This palette contains extremely sparkly, very high pearl shimmers, including 2 multichromes, 2 iridescent multichromes, and 2 duochromes, all of which consist of various textures. There are 5 matte shades included to complement your look. This new formula is thinner and more elegant than the original palette. A lot of makeup artists and customers dislike the thickness of the old formula. Please note these eyeshadows may appear to be glitters. However, this is a 100% glitter-free eyeshadow palette with a unique large pearl formula. So this palette does retail for $79, definitely more on the more steep side. I do not have a discount code with Adept Cosmetics at all. I'm not really affiliated with them, but I know like my friend Heather Austin has a code if you guys want to use hers. But I am so excited to play with this because I do have the original Minka palette right here, and I did love this. My only gripe that I had with it was that it had 2 mattes and the rest were shimmers, but I just felt that these shimmers felt more like pressed glitter. And I've been very adamant with you guys that I do not like pressed glitter, and while this is not supposed to be glitter based, it felt like it because of how the formula was. So here is the Minka palette right here, and they decided to go ahead and reformulate it to a more thinner formula to make it a lot more accessible and easier for those who do not like the thicker texture. So you guys can see this is the 2 palettes side by side. And you guys can definitely see where they added the matte shades to go with it, along with some of the pressed glitters that they kept the same, but they also added some new ones. So I am so excited to give this a go. So we're going to do a beautiful eye look today. Like I said, I really did enjoy my first Minka palette, but I had just said that the foils in here were just too chunky for my taste. So I'm really glad to see that they decided to rechange things up, add a thinner formula, but still kept the beautiful pearlized finishes to look gorgeous on the lid. So we're going to start off with this shade called Maria right here, and we're going to put that into our crease area. I am so excited. I legit had no idea this was coming. The company has never reached out to me, nothing. But what they did do was about like a couple months ago, they were, I would say maybe like 2 months ago. I don't know. It was sometime I can know back in like the end of 2024, they were looking for new content creators to add to their PR list. And I told you guys about this in a new makeup release video. I said, hey, if you guys want to, you guys should go fill out the form on Adept Cosmetics website, you know, see if you guys can be added to the PR list, because they're looking for new creators to expand their list. And I decided for shits and giggles to apply to it myself, just because I thought, well, why not? Didn't think anything of it, especially because I never heard back from them. So I was like, oh, okay, no big deal. Didn't think anything of it until I got a knock at the door and it said, I have a package. And I said, what? I opened it up and lo and behold, it was Adept. And I was like, I got so excited. So this may be my first PR package. This could be my last. I don't know, but either way, I am beyond grateful. So we're going to lay this shade down. I am so excited to play with this palette. I was introduced to this palette was actually because of Heather Austin. When she did her collab, I was like, oh my God, that palette is absolutely beautiful. I had to get my hands on it. Plus I wanted to support her. And that's when I was introduced to Adept, and I said, wow, okay, this brand has some incredible formula, and it got me to pay attention to them ever since. They're definitely more on the expensive side, but I can safely say that it's because of their formula. They have some incredible formula, which makes it more expensive, and it makes it more worth it. Like this right here is going to be a magnetic palette. So all you have to do is like stick a little like needle in here to pop out the pan, and you guys can actually arrange the palette how you guys see fit. You could actually take all the shadows out, put it into a magnetic palette of your choice to mix and match with other palettes. Like I really like how they gave that option. And then we're going to take the new shade called Dana. We're going to take this really soft like lavender, and we're going to start to buff this right next to the shade right here, just to start to diffuse the edges. We're going to lightly go in to diffuse the edges very softly. So guys, now you guys can tell that first shade definitely has some fallout. It's not too bad, but that Maria shade definitely has some fallout. It's why I love doing my eyeshadow first, just because I know me, and if I mess up, I don't want to have my foundation on, because then it just makes it a lot of work. I think I want to do a cut crease. I have not done a cut crease in a hot minute. So I'm going to take my P. Louise Acid Rain, and we're going to cut the crease. I am so excited to do this. I really love to bring back like the 2016 cut creases. Do you guys remember those days? Oh my God, they were the best. Okay, so next I'm gonna go into the shade right here called Linda. Now this is definitely not a new shade. This has been in the previous palette before. This is gonna be one of those like multi-chromes right here. Do you see how gorgeous this shade is? I'm gonna go in with 4 shimmers on my lid today. So we're gonna start off with this one right here. We're just gonna go right here, because it's going to have a green purple shift to it, and it's going to appear more pinky on camera like that. That's exactly what I was looking for. And green and purple, while they may be contrasting colors, they can absolutely still look really beautiful next to each other. So we're just going to lightly lay this shade right here. Now what I love about multi-chromes is that they really are just that. They're multi-chrome. Right next to Linda, I'm going to go into the shade right here called Mia. I believe this is actually a new shade, and it's another beautiful multi-chrome. This one appears more like icy lavender with green reflex to it. It is so pretty. We're gonna start to lay this right here, and then we're gonna go into the gorgeous shade Eliza. This is a brand new shade. This is a beautiful, beautiful multi-chrome. It goes between like an icy blue, icy pink, purple shift. Like it is so, so pretty. And we're gonna place that right here. If you guys can see just how beautiful these multi-chromes are. Do you see that it actually has a little bit of a green shift to it? I don't know if it's coming off on camera, but like these do have really beautiful, beautiful shifts to them. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the shade right here. But I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some false lashes. This is looking super, super, super pretty. It's been a minute since I've done a cut crease. I kind of like that it does look the way it does, because it kind of looks more purple, but like in person I could also see a little bit of green. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've done a cut crease. Let me go and do the other eye, guys, and I'll be right on back. Okay, so before we finish off the under eyes, Adept Cosmetics also sent me 2 lip glosses. So they sent me their brand new Simplistic Moisture lip glosses. I have 2 shades right here. The first shade I have, it's called Pretty in Pink, and this is going to retail for $16, and this is going to be a sheer cushion formula for medium coverage and high shimmer finish. I also have this shade called Shady Sands, and it's also going to also the shade called Shady Sands, and this is going to be an ultra hydrating, non-sticky, leave on day or night formula that conditions lips while combining pillowy soft color. So I'm going to do my lips really fast. I think for lips today, I'm going to go into the ColourPop Lip Plumper in the shade called Jaguar. We're going to line my lips with this. And I think for the lip gloss shade, I'm going to go into the shade called Shady Sands right here. I feel like this would be like a little bit better. This is a beautiful, like almost like multi-chrome lip gloss. I've never played with Adept lip glosses before. So I don't really know like I don't really know how it feels. Definitely is a multi-chrome shift. I see orange, red, and pink reflex in this. Super nice. Okay, so then to finish off the under eye, we're gonna go in the shade right here called Elena, and we're gonna softly buff that right underneath the waterline, like so. And I'm gonna take Toya to go right next to that. For the inner corner, I think I'm gonna take the shade right here called Joshua. This is another beautiful like duochrome. Like, oh my gosh, look at how gorgeous that shade is, right? I feel like it'd be such a vibrant inner corner moment. Ooh, that's pretty. Alrighty guys, so here's the final look right here. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Let me go ahead and zoom you guys out, give you guys my thoughts on this, and we'll wrap up this 3 looks, 3 palettes video. Okay guys, so here's the final look right here. I have to say, I think this look is absolutely beautiful. First off, I love doing a cut crease, but secondly, I just feel like it's so pretty. Like, I don't know how well the multi-chromes will come off on camera, but in person, I can absolutely see the beautiful shift between the shades. I think they're so gorgeous. Like, they are so pretty. I wonder if I shine my flashlight, will you guys be able to see it? Oh, I don't know if it's coming off, but either way, they are beautiful. They're so beautiful. If you guys have ever played with an Adept Cosmetics palette, you know they have some phenomenal formula out there. And I really love the fact that they decided to take their original Minka palette, which I did enjoy, but as you guys can see, it definitely just flakes a lot. And I love how they took that and remastered it into this. This to me is absolutely worth the price point. This to me is so much better than this palette. Like, no offense to this palette, I loved it. But this one to me is where it's at, because you are definitely gonna have those mattes are gonna help to counterbalance those shimmers, multi-chromes, and holochromes that are in here. I love the way that the formula does definitely feel a lot lighter. You don't have those heavy foils that just flake off and feel like they're gonna be kind of difficult to deal with. These actually feel really creamy and buttery, and they lay down very, very, very smoothly. I really enjoy playing with this palette. Like I said, this palette's actually out right now. You guys can use my friend like Heather Austin code. I know she has one, and they're so sweet enough to give me some of their lip glosses. Like I said, I've never played their lip glosses before. I really like this shade. It's really soft. It feels very hydrating. It has a beautiful high shine to it. It doesn't feel tacky, sticky, nothing. It doesn't smell at all. It's really nice. So Adept Cosmetics, thank you so much for sending me this palette. I was so excited when I got it because I really wanted to get my hands on it. I'm so beyond thankful. So thank you guys so much. But that, my most beautiful friends, is it for today's 3 looks, 3 palettes. Let me know down in the comments below what palette you guys liked the most, or maybe what eye look you guys liked the most. I'll have everything linked down below. And thank you guys so much again for voting for Corey. I don't know if he's going to make it to the finals, but it really means a lot to me that you guys took the time out of your day to vote for him. So with that said, guys, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already. So I do post 3 to 4 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channels, Are for Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes these beautiful, wonderful paid members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my very next video.